Have you ever shared something online that seemed harmless, only to regret it later? What if the most dangerous secrets aren't the ones others keep from you, but the ones you accidentally reveal? In a world where everyone is watching, your greatest threat may come not from a stranger, but from your own oversharing. There are secrets that protect you, and then there are the ones that can get you hurt, or worse. Not because you did something wrong, not because you were reckless, but simply because you placed your trust in the wrong hands at the wrong time. Here's the chilling truth: the most dangerous information isn't what others hide from you. It's what you share, unknowingly, without realizing the cost. Throughout history, lives have been upended by a single misplaced sentence, a casual overshare, a brief moment of comfort that opened the wrong door. And now, in today's hyper-connected world, where your online and offline lives blur together and you're constantly observed, what you reveal in passing could quietly make you a target. A photo. A caption. A story. All harmless, until they're not. This video unpacks 5 crucial secrets you should never share, not if you care about your safety, your freedom, or your peace of mind. These aren't the obvious ones. They're the ones that slip under your radar, until it's too late. So don't scroll away. Don't zone out. Because the next 60 seconds could reveal the one detail that saves you. And hey, if you believe in protecting yourself, and the people you love, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because awareness isn't just power, it's protection. Let's begin. Number 1, never share personal financial information. Picture this: someone posts a photo standing proudly in front of their brand new home, keys in hand, beaming with excitement. The caption: "Finally, a homeowner." Seems harmless, right? We're encouraged to celebrate big milestones. And social media has trained us to seek validation with likes, fire emojis, and clapping hands. But here's what no one tells you: that innocent post just exposed far more than you think. You didn't just share a happy moment, you may have handed out a blueprint to your personal life. People now know roughly where you live, that you've just invested in something big, and that you likely have valuable assets. Without realizing it, you've painted a target on your back. Let me tell you about Rachel. A good friend of mine. She bought her first house in her early 30s, a huge achievement. She proudly shared a few photos, her smiling face with the new keys, the welcome mat, the front porch, and a house number just barely in the frame. Nothing flashy. Just pure joy. Within 2 months. 2 break-in attempts. One while she was out of town. Another in broad daylight, while she was at work. She didn't live in a high-crime area. She wasn't flaunting wealth. But she had unknowingly signaled that she had something worth stealing. That's the hidden danger of financial posts. It's not just what you say, it's what you signal. That new car selfie. The casual mention of your bonus at brunch. The celebratory post about finally clearing your debt. To you, they're personal victories. To the wrong person, they're breadcrumbs, leading straight to your front door. We like to think we're just sharing life updates. In reality, we might be broadcasting opportunity. Not to our friends, but to opportunists. Here's a truth that makes many people uncomfortable: someone is always watching. Not everyone. Not all the time. But enough. And it's not just hackers or digital scammers hiding in the cloud. It could be the coworker you barely know, the +1 at a friend's dinner, the quiet observer who noticed your new phone or high-end watch, and started connecting the dots. We often think danger looks like a dark figure lurking in an alley. But more often than not, it wears a smile, shakes your hand, and silently calculates your worth. The harsh reality? Criminals don't usually go after billionaires. Why would they? Those people have gated mansions, private security, surveillance teams. They're high risk. But you? You're accessible. You've got just enough to make the risk worth it, and no fortress to hide behind. You post vacation pics while you're still away. You show off that new laptop, renovated kitchen, designer bag. Each of these is a breadcrumb. And when someone decides to follow the trail, it's too late to take it back. Here's the psychological trap: we believe the world is cheering for us. And many people are. But not all. In the shadows of those congrats and fire emojis, there are quiet observers who aren't inspired, they're opportunistic. So before you hit post, ask yourself, who might see this, and what might they do with it? Backhand index pointing right, and that's just one of the 5 secrets you should never share. Up next, we'll talk about another type of information, one that feels even more harmless but carries dangerous consequences if shared with the wrong person. In the previous section, we talked about how oversharing your finances can quietly make you a target. But there's something even more sensitive, and far easier to give away without realizing it: your location. It starts with a feeling. That subtle, cold rush down your spine when you realize someone knows exactly where you are, and they shouldn't. It's not paranoia, it's a gut-level instinct. And in today's world of constant online exposure, most people don't even recognize the silent danger they're walking into. We've normalized it. Posting airport selfies, tagging coffee shops in real time, sharing, on the way, photos before the plane even takes off. We think we're just sharing fun updates. In reality, we're broadcasting our whereabouts, and to the wrong person, that's as good as handing them your house keys. Let me share a true story. A woman I once knew, let's call her Maya, had just gotten engaged. She was glowing, joyful, and like many of us, she loved capturing her moments on Instagram. One weekend, her fiancé surprised her with a romantic getaway to Lake Tahoe. Naturally, she documented it all: the road trip, the cozy cabin, the snowy views. On day 2, she posted a cheerful picture of them snowshoeing, captioned, "No cell signal, no problems." But there was a problem. Someone from her past, a man she had distanced herself from after an uncomfortable encounter, had been silently watching her posts. He followed every update. He saw the whole trip unfold. He didn't just know where she was. He knew where she wasn't, at home. While Maya was wrapped in snow and laughter, her apartment back in Sacramento was broken into. No smashed windows. No forced entry. But her drawers were rifled through. Her closet disturbed. The intruder wasn't just after her belongings. He wanted to feel something Maya never agreed to give: control, access, intimacy. That's what made it terrifying. He didn't steal for money. He invaded to feel powerful. And that's the part most people don't realize: not all threats are financial. Some are emotional. Obsessive. Manipulative. And when you reveal your location, you're offering a map, not just to your place, but to your life. This isn't fear-mongering. It's pattern recognition. We've made it normal to announce our presence everywhere we go. And we assume only our friends are watching. But here's the truth: anyone can be watching. Social media doesn't vet your followers. The guy you met once at a networking event. That woman from your college class 5 years ago. The anonymous account that liked every post in a row. They might not be who you think. And according to research, over 78% of modern burglars use social media to identify their next target. They don't need to guess if you're home. You already told them. You showed them. And it goes beyond theft. The danger intensifies when you share your routines. The early morning run. The yoga class that ends at 8 p.m. sharp. The peaceful night walks you take when the streets are empty. These small rituals, which feel so personal and safe, can become predictable patterns. And for someone with bad intentions, they're not hard to trace. They just need to pay attention. So why do we feel the need to share our location while we're still there? Why the compulsion to check in, tag, and post in the moment? Much of it boils down to one powerful human need: validation. In the next section, we'll unpack that very urge, why the need to be seen, acknowledged, and affirmed drives us to overshare, and how understanding that psychology can help us reclaim our safety and peace of mind. Let's keep going, because this next part may change the way you think about everything you post. In the last section, we exposed how sharing your location in real time, even casually, can silently invite danger. Now let's go one level deeper. Why do we share in the first place? The answer is simple, yet powerful: we all want to be seen. We want to feel connected, noticed, acknowledged. We want the world to witness that we're living fully, making memories, being someone. But that craving for connection, if left unchecked, can quietly become a liability. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes your anchor. The Stoics taught that real peace comes not from being recognized, but from mastering what we can control: our thoughts, our desires, and our actions. And one of the most overlooked actions in the digital age is this: choosing when not to share. When you live with a Stoic mindset, you don't feel the urge to broadcast every win or every moment in real time. You start asking deeper questions. Why am I posting this? What am I hoping to get in return? Is this for connection? Or for validation? That self-awareness is a quiet kind of power, a power that puts your safety back in your hands. You begin to treat your privacy the same way a warrior treats their armor. Not as a sign of fear, but as a tool for protection. Something that gives you strength, clarity, and an edge. So, what's the solution? It's not complicated, but it takes discipline. Shift the timing of your posts. Share your vacation photos after you've returned. Post that beautiful dinner after you've left the restaurant. Talk about your daily routines only with those you trust deeply and completely. And above all, avoid tagging your real-time location. Because here's the truth: caution is not the same as fear. It's awareness. It's wisdom. It's the understanding that while the world is often beautiful, it's also unpredictable, and pretending otherwise doesn't make you brave, it makes you vulnerable. We live in an age where even joy, if shared carelessly, can make you a target. But when you protect your movement, your presence, your privacy, you're not living in fear, you're living with intention. You reclaim your life from public consumption. You stop living in a glass house. You turn your day-to-day experience into something sacred, private, yours. Because in this world, the most dangerous people don't need to force their way in, they simply wait for you to open the door. And when your movements are public, that door swings wide open. Privacy is the fortress of modern life. And the strongest walls aren't built from fear, but from quiet wisdom and deliberate choice. Be quiet. Be careful. Be stoic. And now that you know how dangerous it is to expose your movements, let's move on to the next threat, one that people think makes them safer, but in reality, might be giving away more than they realize. In the last section, we explored how casually revealing your home's security measures, even in the name of connection or pride, can invite danger. But here's something even more vulnerable than your valuables: your personal weaknesses. Because sometimes, all it takes is someone patient enough to listen, observe, and wait. And that's the truth most people miss: not all criminals are impulsive. Some are calculated, strategic, students of human behavior. They don't need to break down your door. They just watch, silently, collecting the information you unknowingly give away, online or in person. Greg's mistake wasn't buying a safe. It was talking about it, publicly, in a space where strangers could listen in. That one comment turned his strongest layer of protection into a target. The truth is, we do this more than we think. We give tours of our homes on social media, proudly showing off renovations, casually pointing out that the master bedroom is in the back, nice and private. We joke with colleagues about where we keep heirlooms or say things like, "Our family gun's under the bed, just in case." It feels normal. It feels like bonding. But underneath that surface-level connection, we're actually handing out a playbook, a guide for someone to exploit. Psychologically, it stems from something deeply human: the desire to be acknowledged. We want others to know we've taken steps to protect what matters. That we're responsible. That we're prepared. But real safety isn't for display. It's silent. It's strategic. It's sacred. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus once said, "Be silent for the most part, or, if you speak, say only what is necessary and in few words." This wasn't just about manners. It was about power. The ability to hold back, to speak only with purpose, and to choose what's worth revealing. To live stoically is to understand that applause, envy, or curiosity are not signs of success. Sharing your security setup, your hidden cache, your defense mechanisms, it doesn't make you smart or strong. It makes you predictable. It makes you exposed. Think about it, a fortress isn't powerful because people can see its weapons. It's powerful because they don't know where or what they are. So, how do you talk about your home without making it vulnerable? Simple. You don't, unless absolutely necessary. And when you do, keep it vague. We're covered. That's enough. If someone asks about valuables, brush it off or redirect the conversation. If you're sharing about renovations, show the results, not the layout. Don't hand out a blueprint in exchange for likes or validation. Learn to draw a line between what feels satisfying to share and what's actually safe to share. Because once someone knows what you have, how you protect it, and where it's kept, you've already lost the advantage. And in today's world, where information spreads faster than consequences catch up, that advantage might be all you had. Your home should be your sanctuary. A place of peace, not a showroom, not a stage. Keep your defenses quiet. Keep your privacy sacred. Speak less than you're tempted to. And treat your personal privacy like the deadbolt on your front door, because in many ways, it is. Now, let's talk about a different kind of danger. Not the kind that goes after your possessions, but the one that creeps in quietly through empathy, vulnerability, and misplaced trust. Get ready for insight number 4, why you should never share personal or family weaknesses, even when it feels good to open up. Previously, we explored how even well-meaning openness, especially about personal or family vulnerabilities, can be weaponized when it falls into the wrong hands. Now let's dive deeper into how that exploitation actually works. You see, when you share sensitive details, you're not just informing others, you're potentially inviting exploitation. Manipulators, predators, and emotional opportunists aren't always overtly malicious from the start. Often, they're calculating. They study weakness with the same patience a hunter studies the path of their prey. It doesn't take aggression, it just takes attention. A person who learns you're afraid of confrontation will push your boundaries softly, just to see what you'll tolerate. Someone who hears you live alone and struggle with mobility doesn't see independence, they see an opening. And when someone discovers your past traumas, a toxic ex, a fear of abandonment, your unresolved guilt, they now have the blueprint to customize their manipulation just for you. This kind of harm. It's not loud. It's not random. It's precision-engineered pain, personal, quiet, and calculated. And sadly, even when our intentions are to protect, we can sometimes put others in harm's way by oversharing on their behalf. Think about the details people casually mention: an aging parent who lives alone, a child's after-school routine, a sibling with a disability who stays home during the day. These aren't just innocent updates, they are maps of vulnerability, left lying out in the open for anyone to follow. And once that map is out there, you can't control who picks it up. The Stoics approached personal disclosure very differently. They weren't cold. They weren't disconnected. But they were deeply intentional. Crepus once said, "The wise man will speak correctly and with restraint. He will confess not to everyone, but only to those who are suited to hear it." That line, "only to those who are suited to hear it," is a powerful filter. Stoic philosophy urges us not to withhold truth out of fear, but to share selectively out of wisdom. Some truths are sacred. Some emotions are meant to be processed quietly, within ourselves or in the presence of those we deeply trust, not spilled into the scroll of a comment section or stitched into a story for strangers. To live stoically doesn't mean living silently. It means you understand the cost of indiscriminate sharing. It means you don't mistake vulnerability for weakness, but you recognize that misplaced vulnerability is dangerous. So if you've been through trauma, if you're healing emotionally, if you live with a chronic condition or carry deep fears, ask yourself, who truly deserves access to that truth? Is it a stranger on social media? An acquaintance at a dinner party? Or someone who's earned your trust through consistency, kindness, and care? Use private channels. Seek professional help. Lean on trusted friends. In public, be general. Keep it simple. You owe no stranger an explanation. You owe no crowd your pain. And when you feel the urge to share, pause. Ask yourself, is this about connecting, or about being seen? Because often, what we really want is someone to say, I understand. And while that need is deeply human, it's not always worth the cost of exposing yourself to people who haven't earned your story. You can heal without broadcasting. You can grow without being on display. You can be strong, and still invisible to the wrong eyes. Take a moment to reflect, have you ever shared something personal, only to regret it later? Has your openness ever been used against you? If you're comfortable, share your story in the comments. You might help someone realize what's truly at stake, before it's too late. Because in the end, safety isn't just about what you can physically defend. It's about what you choose not to reveal. Sometimes, your greatest protection isn't your strength, it's your silence. Now let's move into the final danger, one that many people overlook because it feels so harmless, until it's too late. Insight number 5, why even innocent personal details can lead to identity theft. Are you ready? Let's break it down. In the last part, we talked about how small, seemingly harmless personal details, shared online, can silently unlock the door to your identity. Now let's see what happens when someone actually walks through that door. It didn't take long before Melissa's life turned upside down. Her inbox lit up with security alerts. Password reset requests. Suspicious login attempts. Her bank card was flagged. One by one, platforms began locking her out. Her accounts weren't just compromised, they were hijacked. And it took weeks, along with the help of a cybersecurity expert, just to begin cleaning up the mess. But what hurt Melissa the most wasn't just the chaos, it was the betrayal. Because it didn't feel like she got hacked by a faceless criminal. It felt like she'd handed her privacy over piece by piece, to the entire world, one light-hearted post at a time. This is what modern identity theft actually looks like. Forget the Hollywood image of a guy in a hoodie, typing frantically in a dark room. In real life, it's often someone calmly collecting digital breadcrumbs, quietly and consistently. They don't need to force their way in. You left the door unlocked. Here's the most disturbing part. It's the combination of small data points that turns them into a powerful weapon. Your birth month from a comment on a birthday post. Your high school mascot from an old yearbook photo. A fun fact about graduating class of 2007. A tagged photo with your brother that includes your shared last name. On their own, these bits of information seem trivial. But together, they can help someone narrow down your age, hometown, family ties, and even predict common security answers like a social security suffix, a banking login, or worse, engineer highly convincing phishing attacks. And once they know where you bank, which apps you use, or where you shop, they can imitate those platforms with chilling accuracy. One fake email, designed to look exactly like your go-to service, and you might click, without ever suspecting a thing. That's why Stoic philosophy isn't just helpful here, it's essential. Marcus Aurelius once said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. That kind of clarity, that commitment to discipline, it applies to the digital world too. Stoicism teaches restraint. The power to pause. To ask yourself, do I really need to post this? Who does this benefit? What would happen if someone with bad intentions saw this? You can choose silence over impulse. You can treat your personal data like your physical body, with respect, with boundaries, and with a deep understanding that even invisible exposure has very real consequences. You don't owe the internet your full story. You don't need to prove your identity to the world. You can live fully, you can share meaningfully, without giving away the keys to your privacy. So what's the solution? It's not fear, it's precision. Use false answers to security questions that only you will recognize. Don't casually mention the apps you use for finances or personal transactions. Do regular audits of your social media presence. Go through your old posts. Delete what no longer needs to be online. Tighten your privacy settings. Because the more strangers know about you, the easier it is for them to build a digital version of you, one you never authorized, one they can manipulate. Think about it, you lock your front door every night without question. Why wouldn't you apply the same vigilance to your digital life? Melissa didn't get hacked because she was reckless. She got hacked because she trusted a system, a culture, that rewards oversharing and punishes discretion. But we can challenge that system. We can protect what matters by guarding the details that seem too small to matter, until they do. What about you? Have you ever posted something that, in hindsight, felt a little too revealing? Have you ever answered a fun online quiz and later realized it asked all the same questions your bank does? If so, share your experience in the comments. Your story could be the wake-up call someone else needs. And if this message struck a chord, don't stop here. There's a video on your screen right now packed with practical steps that build on everything we've talked about today. Click it. Watch it. Share it. Because in this world, information is power, and the wisest thing you can do is protect what you know and keep the rest to yourself. That's not fear. That's survival. That's stoicism in action. If you've made it this far, you already know, this isn't just a video you're watching. This is a shift. You're not just scrolling. You're waking up. These 5 secrets. They aren't random safety tips. They are your personal firewall, in a world that's always watching, always listening, always waiting for one small slip. You don't have to live in fear. But you must live smart. Protecting your life begins with protecting your information. So here's your next step. Hit that subscribe button. Stay informed. Stay alert. And if this helped you, share it. Because someone you care about might desperately need this knowledge, and not even know it yet. Your safety is your responsibility, but you are never alone in it. Let's keep building your defense, together.